It is Saturday, which means the Premier League is back. It's Premier League match week 6, and to be honest, this weekend, we don't have those huge games and those big clashes. For a number of weeks now, we've seen big teams come up against each other, we've seen some huge games, but to be honest, this weekend, there's no real game that really stands out. But I'm sure it's gonna be another weekend of some great football. As you could probably tell, I'm ill and I'm sick at the moment. You could probably tell from my voice, but I love making this series. I love talking about the Premier League, previewing the games, and with me being sick, I have a perfect excuse just to sit down and watch this weekend's games. So today, I've got 10 things you need to know before this Premier League weekend, match week 6. And with me being ill and still making this video, I'll really appreciate if you guys could leave a like rating. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Make sure also click on that bell button so you can be a part of the notification squad. Number 10. London Derby. In my opinion, this is the biggest game this Premier League weekend. It's West Ham United, they host Tottenham Hotspur to kick off this Premier League weekend action, looking for their 3rd consecutive home win over their rivals for the first time since 1999. The Hammers most recently ended Spurs' title hopes with a 1-0 win in May. West Ham United have had a really shaky start to the Premier League season. Tottenham Hotspur, on the other hand, have experienced Wembley woes. They are yet to win in the Premier League at Wembley Stadium. This game won't be played at Wembley Stadium, so they possibly have a chance to actually win the game. Number 9. Will Everton strike at Goodison? Everton will be hosting Bournemouth this weekend on Saturday, and both teams have endured a tough start to the 2017-18 season. It is 18th placed Everton, they'll be taking on 2nd bottom placed Bournemouth. The Toffees have not won in the league since the opening day of the season and will start the afternoon just 1 point better off than their opponents. Everton suffered a huge 4-0 loss at Old Trafford against Manchester United last weekend. Bournemouth, on the other hand, last weekend picked up their first points for the season. Although a convincing 3-0 win in midweek against Sunderland in the EFL Cup does give Everton some momentum heading into this game that they can go ahead and pick up their 2nd win of the season. Number 8. Another easy day for City? Is it gotta be another easy 3 points for Manchester City this weekend as they face Crystal Palace? And if Roy Hodgson wanted an easy run of games to end Crystal Palace's dire run, he faces his toughest possible test against City. City won 6-0 last week against Watford. The Eagles have become the first team in English top flight history, dating back to 1888, to start a season with no points and no goals after 5 games, thanks to a 1-0 loss to Southampton on Roy Hodgson's return. Manchester City, on the other hand, are a team on the rise and have so much confidence. They picked up a 6-0 win over Watford last weekend. Sergio Aguero picked up a hat-trick, and in my opinion, this is just going to be yet again another game where City just go all out, goals galore against Crystal Palace. Number 7. The struggle will continue. Like I just said, Crystal Palace's horrible start to the season will continue. They play Manchester City today. Next week, they face Manchester United away. Then they face Chelsea and Newcastle United. I'm starting to feel sorry for Crystal Palace. So far this season, they have not scored a goal. They've picked up no points. They are dead last, and to be honest, I can't see them picking up any points against Manchester United, who will go ahead and probably thrash them next week. And then Chelsea will probably dominate them. The only team that I can really see them picking up points against is Newcastle. But even when you look at that, Newcastle United at the moment are sitting in 4th. And they are also a team that is in good form. So Crystal Palace, it could be a very long time before they even pick up a point. Number 6. Will United keep up? With Manchester City now showing their dominance in the Premier League, it's time for Manchester United to keep up and keep up their good form. After United picked up a 4-0 win over Everton last week, United are about to begin a run of 6 away games from 7 games as Jose Mourinho's squad is tested home and abroad. Saturday's journey to Southampton is followed by flights to Moscow and Lisbon, in the Champions League than across the country for Premier League and League Cup commitments. Mourinho is expected to use the run to test the depth of his squad before welcoming Tottenham Hotspur to Old Trafford in 5 weeks' time. But they'll be facing Southampton, who will be boosted by a first start of the season for their captain Van Dijk, and it's arguably the club's first real test of the campaign this season against Manchester United. Number 5. Can Stoke hold Chelsea down? Chelsea are looking to get back to winning ways immediately after losing ground on Premier League pace setters Manchester City and Manchester United last weekend. It was a 0-0 draw against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge, which could have been a loss for the team. There's a 3-point gap building between them and their club rivals, but they will be confident that they can go ahead and pick up the 3 points against Stoke City. Stoke City have beaten Chelsea just twice in Premier League history and have lost 6 of their previous 8 encounters, including home and away last season. Stoke City have picked up points against Manchester United with a 2-2 draw a couple weeks ago, so they can feel confident heading into this game that they can also pick up points against Chelsea. Number 4. Will Watford strike back? Watford had an encouraging start to the season after picking up 2 wins and 2 draws from their first 4 games, but they were well beaten by Manchester City last week in a 6-0 loss. And they'll be looking to regroup and head into this game and continue the form that they were showing before that Manchester City game last weekend. Their opponents, Swansea City, did well last week and held Tottenham to a goalless draw away from home. But yet again, it's their woes in front of goal that are haunting them. With just 1 win from 5 games so far this season, they managed to stay out of the relegation zone for the moment, but things could change in a matter of weeks. And this is going to be 2 teams who are wanting to go out there and pick up wins for themselves. Number 3. King Power Stadium hosts Liverpool. Leicester City and Liverpool meet in the Premier League just 4 days after an EFL Cup encounter. 4 days ago, Leicester City eliminated Liverpool in a 2-0 win at King Power Stadium, and we all saw the brutal highlights from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain from that game. Goals from Okazaki and Slimani knocked out the Reds from the Cup competition, and it was the 3rd home win on the trot for the Foxes over Liverpool, and Jamie Vardy is expected to be fit after skipping the midweek Cup clash, and Liverpool really need to get back to their winning ways because the past 4 games they've dropped points in Cup competition, Premier League and the Champions League. We've got Leicester City on the other hand, who are slowly building momentum with Jamie Vardy looking like he's back to his good form. Number 2. Will Newcastle continue their good form? It is the 2 newly promoted sides in the Premier League this season. It's Brighton versus Newcastle. Both Brighton and Newcastle were automatically promoted to the Premier League last season, but it was the Magpies who dramatically won the title on the final day, finishing 1 point ahead of Brighton and Hove Albion. Brighton go into the clash having 4 points from their opening 5 games, and the Magpies will be looking to win successive Premier League away matches for the first time in nearly 3 years, last doing it in November of 2014. Newcastle United have won 3 in a row and they are sitting in 4th position in the Premier League and are looking really confident that they can go ahead and pick up the win in this game. And number 1, can the Emirates light up again? West Brom will be travelling to the Emirates on Monday looking to reopen old wounds from their last meeting with Arsenal. Arsenal on the other hand will be looking to continue the good run of games that they've been building up in about a week and a bit. Last time the teams did meet, Tony Pulis' side picked up a 3-1 win at the Hawthorns in March. It was arguably the match that brought out the Wenger out signs again. But obviously Arsene Wenger is still at Arsenal and West Brom will be looking to pick up points against Arsenal at the Emirates. But can Arsenal hold on? Can they pick up another 3 points? Because when you look at it, they're not sitting too high in the table at the moment. But definitely that good performance against Chelsea, the 0-0 draw and a win during midweek is definitely going to give themselves the confidence that they can go ahead, pick up the win at the Emirates and push themselves up the table. And that is the 10 things you need to know before this Premier League weekend, match week 6. I'm going to go ahead, lie down on my couch and watch this week's Premier League games. But if you did enjoy this video, I would really appreciate a like rating, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you all on my next video.